you're tight on your back. That's where I want you to start. I usually start mid-thoracic, up out of bed, and you're just stretching. Like they see the people do on TV, right? None of us have time. We like, get out of bed and like, get to work, get the kids, this and that. We don't have time to stretch. And look what I'm doing. I'm just like, I'm staying back there. I have been queuing for a while. You could straighten out your life. It's not abs. It's not up and down. We're not flexing. We're moving. We're exploring our spaces. So I usually start right at the scapula. And I don't know if today you saw me I do these before bed. Okay. And then stretch and see it's opening up my rib cage. Now you can move down if you want to work towards your low back. You can do similar things, some side bending. Make sure you're holding the head. And right there for me is where I've been really tight lately. And I'm going to figure out how to get that more loose. And sometimes I think a little bit of flexion for this lower thoracic, all the way to the lower part of the rib cage. Now I'm just going to go back up to where my shoulder blades are. And my neck sits in the center of the, and then I'm just going to roll a little bit. Just going to move this down so that I'm in the screen. And watch, I'm going to turn and roll one side all the way up, as far down as I can go without falling over. I'm going to go on the other side. If you lose it, look at how I just roll it down. All right. And then just do that final stretch out. When I went back to that tightest spot, that's where I went for my final stretch out. It was better this time to go in that lower thoracic. That was like much better for me. Okay. Now we're going to flip over onto the stomach. And just pull the foam roller to the crown of the head and out. I cued on Wednesday, push your ribs into the ground when you do this. Push the ribs into the ground as you pull your elbows to your W shape and then out. Okay, so one more. I push my ribs. That should be a different cue. Push your ribs into the ground and out. Now, leaving your arms straight, just do the opposite. Let the upper body come up, and the foam roller doesn't roll a lot, and then it's out. Go back, but I'm not. I'm trying to draw under my armpit and reach it. One more time. And then release it back out. Stretch it, really stretch it. And you can rolling hills here too, because you can just drop your hands and press your hands away. Drop your fingers. Good, you can see me here. And lift, drop, lift, drop. That feels really nice. And hands in, push yourself up. We're going to have your hands forward of your shoulders. The original hip rocking is two-handed. The add-on today is one hand. If you know you need to modify, I wouldn't pick the one-armed. We did these last night if you were here last night. We reach, okay? We go Y, T, I, pinky to the side of the body, really stretch the right arm back and the left arm in opposition forward. Then we go T and reach to, it's really not Y anymore, it's X. It's like almost Superwoman feel. If you want to switch your sides, which is a nice principle, then put the hand down and then reach out and then go Y, T, I. Feel the opposition. You're going to have to check out the video to see this opposition. I'm really exaggerating it, holding the abs in. You can stay on the same side if you want to play around with that move. Don't lock the elbow. Okay. I'm just alternating it today to get a nice core feel. And when you change your side, you have to restabilize the muscles. I'm making sure this arm isn't in the middle. It is a different stretch, but I'm making sure it's in line with the left shoulder. And then I'm reaching forward, and they're getting better. At first, they're sort of hard to reach that arm out. Got anything going on with the elbow, I would keep it on 2. And if you wanted to do YTIs, you could lie on your belly and do YTIs, how I've taught them for years. You could also, I'm going to give you guys a chance to do one more so I can show one of the modifications. If you really are dying to do YTIs and you don't want to load the elbow, you can YTI. Or if you want to do it one-armed, YTI. Feel that press away. Look at that, right? Okay. So that's a great way to do it. Make sure you have a good anchor for your feet. I'm on a rug, so I slid a little bit, but if you're on a hardwood, YTI. Guys, that's really nice too. Just make sure not to overextend the thoracic if you're on the ball. Lower it down a little bit more. So that ball variation was spectacular. Okay. All right. Everybody's into child's pose. We did the YTI one-armed. I got that in film for Instagram and chat. If you grab your foam roller, you can go ahead and roll it down and up. You can do this with the ball down and up. Down and up. And this time down, roll it in, whatever it is. It can be the ball or the foam roller. And we're going to go ahead and do Madonnas. Madonnas are fantastic with the foam roller. We have not done it yet. You press your elbows into the foam. My forehead is down on that foam roller. And I straighten my arms. Now, my elbows stay on because that's where they are. It's like hard to pick them off the foam roller. They're already so high off the ground. But you can really straighten and your head can come off that foam roller for this part. Okay, so then we do it again. I kind of rolled it forward and pressed. I'm trying to press that chest forward. Then out and hold, reach. Make blinking lights with your hands, right? Blinking lights. And then roll out of it. Now, when you out of it, hold on the ends, reach the arms up overhead, and we're going to side bend to the right. And then inhale, lift, and we're going to side bend to the left. Inhale, lift. Take a circle to the right. Wow, that's really nice. Circle to the left. I just have my foam roller with me. Wow, that's really nice. Okay, fantastic. We're going to lie on your back. Who knew? If I had known, I would have been using foam roller a lot more from the start of quarantine. Do our work and I will just say bye-bye. I always feel awkward when I just log out, but that's the way it's got to be today. Okay, straight legs, hands behind the head. This is sort of what it will feel like if you're on the pillow the long way. All right, it goes down to play around in the thoracic, hands behind the head. We're going to flex the abdominals. Okay, all I'm going to do is make sure I'm not pooching out. And I'm pulling my pelvic floor up and I'm drawing in on the abdominals. We're just going to do 4 of these. I'm only on 2. Think about how fast you're going if you're on rep 42. Okay, we got to make sure that we're not over flexing the head. We're not encouraging that forward head posture. I'm almost just lifting off the ground. My head is neutral to my spine. It does not need to be here because the curve of your spine is not there. It's more back on this. It's more back on all of them. Okay. Bend the right knee. Lean back, stretch it. Now, when you lean back, take your time. Elbow floats to the ground. And then we twist up and over. I'm going to do this same progression. I filmed it last night. But I was really tired last night and also practically wearing pajamas. I just don't want that going up on social media. I might make some clips for just the groups. Last one. Now for me, I cue hand down by your side, but for me, I'm going to try it with no hand and work the stability. That is a lot harder. I didn't get my tabletop. I'm going to try one down and pattern the move. Much better when I put my hand down. Now, if my right leg was bent, I would have better balance here. So if I was here, this would be much easier because I would have a full foot to stabilize off of. Okay. Lower back down. So that's going to hip flex. This is hip flexion. Last one. Now, the last one can stay or go down, and then you can extend it. It's up to you. But the next four, I'm definitely going to reach this arm now. We go for 4 with the long and out. 3, I'm definitely pressing into this hand to the long lever for sure. I'm not twisting to the camera. I'm just looking at the knee I'm going to. 2. And 1. And lower that leg down and just stretch out for a moment. Bring both hands down by your sides, bend both knees. Roll through an imprint, squeeze your glutes, roll your hips off the mat into your bridge. Keep nice and open through the collarbone. You can also point your thumbs up like a hitchhiker. Pulse your hips, 8, 7, 6, 5, breathe, 4, 3, tuck in, imprint a little bit to get more glutes, and 1. Stay here on the inhale. And on the exhale, go ahead and roll it down. Working on any tight spots. So for me, it's that low thoracic. Okay. Then from here, we're going to switch our legs. We both hands behind the head. We twist up and over to the left and return. If you're on the other side, just twist to the right. Twist. Good. 2 more. Final show. Hope you're wearing your best clothes. You can try both hands behind the head when you go into the next set of flexion. If you can't balance, put your hand down. Like, I can, but it's like very hard. I would rather it not be that hard and barely use the hand down so that I'm actually successful at the movement than really struggle. Like I said, that last rep of 4 can go down or hold. It's up to you. I mix it up, to be honest. And now we're reaching out and we're in. Any clicking, the leg would go higher. Get away from here. Just stop your crying, just let the time. Nice, guys. I love those. I said that yesterday. I'm like, I think they're so good. Okay. Stretch out your arms and legs one more time just to keep that same pattern. And then you could circle them down to the sides of your body. Roll through an imprint, squeeze your glutes, roll your hips. If you're not feeling your glutes, drop your hips an inch and tuck a little bit more. Pulse up, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Stay here on the inhale, and on the exhale, go ahead and roll down. I'm going to really use my abs to press through that thoracic. That's actually giving me the stretch. I honestly think that myelothoracic is from our missing short spine. I'm still holding that stretch, by the way. I didn't return the rest of my pelvis down. So if you're getting tight there, try that extra stretch. Okay, we're going to come off the foam roller now. We're going to work a little bit into the hip. These all came at the beginning of class. I was wearing all dark clothes, so it's hard to see. I do straighten this leg. This one, you can use it as help. This lightens the effect. So if you are in extreme pain, which some people are, you want to go ahead and keep this foot on the floor. But if you can unload, you want to avoid is pulling up. I did see that a little yesterday on myself. If you need to hold your head, you can. So we work at the hip. I've been doing this since Monday. Monday, it was excruciating. By now, Thursday, I'm feeling good. It really loosened. Now the IT band is a little sensitive, and then some of the lateral quad. So I'm going into here too. And then at my knee, I have a lot of tightness there. I usually use the lacrosse ball for my knee. Okay. But also, what I didn't show yesterday, this is deeper, but I love this one. Grab the foot. I do this one a lot. Now, wait till you feel the middle of that thigh. You feel that, Marguerite? Then I go into my hip. Now we're not staying here long. These are your homework exercises. They're just built in to your classes. To be honest, if I pull myself, I need to be right about there too. Yeah. Okay. It'll just, when you pull something behind, it'll just bring muscles superficially and open it up. Okay. If you think about, I don't know if I have the words for it, but if you think about something like maybe a balloon or something and you pull it, or how about leggings that are see-through as you squat because the fabric stretches, right? Because when you squat, the boot, I was going to say booty, but I don't say that, butt gets closer to the surface. And then all of a sudden you see it. So I would explain it sort of like that. So then I just do a little here. You can be doing all of these at the beginning of class. I mean, I have people with chronic hip pain. They're always talking about hip pain. And then I get them on the foam roller or lacrosse ball. They're like, I can't even stay here for 1 second. And then they get off. And I'm like, but you have to be able to work in there in order to prevent it from getting worse. If you don't work on it, you go to Luke. He works on it. Okay. My legs were so tight, and now this is manageable. Do it for like 5 days in a row. It'll really loosen up. Okay. So now you have that new one. You can work at the knee level. I do work with a lacrosse ball at the knee level because you can just kind of get deep in there, and you can do that one in bed at night. Okay. So we'll come off that foam roller for the foam rolling aspect, which is like your muscle work for lengthening. The next one is a knee tuck. It's like a double knee stretch, but on the foam roller, it'll give that effect of the reformer pushing away. For a long time, we had to bend our knees to do it. So you find that spot that you can come in. And for me, that wasn't even it because I'm at my toes. I'm going to lose it. So just play around with the foam roller that you can tuck in. Nice aspect too is a ball between your thighs. This is on the more aggressive side for arms because you've elevated. So if you do need to do regular double knee stretches or ball-based stretches, double knee stretches, do those. Okay. So we have that double knee stretch rollout variation foam roller. Keep going if you can. You can try some Pikes too. For those of you, like someone like Marguerite might want to do the Pikes. Yes, you can. Just find that spot. You might have to change your spot. There you go. Drop your head. Stay up there. And if some of you need your child's pose, I like a child's pose with the foam roller underneath the ankles. And when you're in there, flex and point your ankles. When you're back here, I'm pulling the foam roller to my shin with my heel, and then I'm pointing. Now my tight left ankle doesn't feel the foam roller. There's space there, but my right one is touching the foam roller. And then point and pull it in one more time. That's a good deep ankle stretch. And then roll out of it one vertebrae at a time. Up here is really nice too. Coming out of that foam roller with the shin up high. Very nice. Okay, we're gonna put the band on and do some of the, that's not all new for people, but that sequence is new in that order for sure. So we'll put the band on. We're gonna do a side bridge clam variation. Why don't we do the Kira combo? Okay, that's side bridge, clam, kick to neutral, return to clam, return back down, and lower back down. Top arm can be holding the head. It can be in front of the eyebrows. It can be down by your side. It's up to you. Kick to neutral. And if you need to not have the band on for any reason, you can just do this through range of motion. I would call this level 3. Level 4 is if you never come out of the side bridge. I don't desire to do level 4. This would be level 4. I never come down. Level 3, you'd come down in between. Okay. So I'm really breaking down some of the modifications today. Out, in, return. Okay. Now level 2 could be here. I actually felt the most glued on level 2. Hence my argument always, the harder one isn't always the efficient one. Feel the most on 2. Right here. Humor me. Try a 2. We did a ton of core. Now I really want to shape my legs. And 1 is nice too. I felt 2 and 1 more than 3 and 4. Now, could it be because I'm getting deeper into the work? Possibly. But I'm able to press the leg more. I like this combo. This is the Kira combo. It adds the clam and the kick for the K, for the Kira. We just won't tell her or tag her. And then lower it back down. Let's do some extension. That is fantastic. I love that with the band. Let's lie on our belly and do extension for 2. I'm still in my 1. I'm still in my first extension. This is where your back gets the strength. Then I'm going to lengthen it back down. I mean, you can do 4 in the amount of time I do 2, but here's where I'm doing the threshold work. Like, great if Rocky can go to his place, but can Rocky stay on his place? If he can't stay on it, he's never going to even be able to go on it during a distraction. So they said, now you have to hold him on his place and then lower it back down. Okay, we're going to take our hands. We're going to push them up. We're going to walk our feet in. We're going to walk our feet into our hands. Any modifications you need. And then feet back out. Out, 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 out. We walk our feet to our hands twice. The feet back out twice. Drop to your knees. Widen your hands. Set of push-ups, child's pose, or invert yourself for a chest fly. Inhale, exhale, push up. Eight total, 4 or 4 with a break in child's pose if you need. And then back into child's pose. We could do a little rolling hills here. We did it on the foam roller earlier, but you know what? This feels different than the one on the foam roller. And we roll out of it one vertebrae at a time to neutral. Then we're gonna set up on the other side for Kira Clam kick. Zipping up. I'm gonna do the same progression because also that's a nice way to challenge is to do some of the, you know, elevated ones. We claim harder, just harder on the shoulder joint. Kick, but I actually felt more leg when I was down. Turn out, I'm trying to bring my heel together like a frog and then down and down. So this is what we would call level 4. You can have your hands. That's just because of the height elevation. If you go to the 4th floor, aren't you higher in level in a building? So right now, really, this is just height level. I'm actually doing 3. I only showed 1. Here's level 4. Out, in, return, and then I would stay here, which I don't desire to do. Out, in, and really where I lost my ability, it was in my lat. It was so hard. So now I'm gonna go to the 2 because I showed a couple 3s already. Say something, I'm giving up on you. Push it. Okay, and then I finished out the set down, which I still felt it. That is what I recommend you do, is you work to what elevation would claim harder, and then down to just a more stable position, but not necessarily less effective for the muscles. I love this. I love this. This pull in. That's all hamstring. Your hamstring bends your knee. Bottom ribs are lifted. Pilates 101. I mean, I shouldn't see anybody anymore like this. Okay, that's why our spine is all screwed up. That's how we sleep. We don't hold our ribs off. Out, in, and rest. Good. Then we go to the floor for our 2 extensions. If you want to double, you go with the leg and the extension. We go up. I'm still in this up because that's what resets my back. And then pull yourself to the ground. One more time. Oh, wow. Whew. And then, yes, we're going into our pressing up, all 4s. Let's do a cat and dog here. We don't need to do another set of push-ups. That would just be mean. So I'll give you cat and dog. And then we'll walk our feet out to plank. For 2, walk your feet to your hands. Feet in. And feet out. If you want a tricep push-up in between, you can. You go down and up. Walk your feet into your hands. And out. If you want a tricep push-up, this time I'm gonna take it into a down dog. If you want more feet walking into the hands, go now. But I'm gonna take it into a down dog and do some runner stretching. Working through that Achilles and calf. I prefer the hardwood floor. I'm on my rug right now, which is hard to stabilize off of. So I grab the edge of it, breathe. When you're ready, walk it in. Standing forward bend. I'm going to keep my band on, and I want weights. So for me, I'm going to take my ankle weights. I'm going to put them across my body. So you can use your ball, the couch, any type of chair. We're going to walk down until we have a nice wide hip position. The weights are here. If you use a chair, you might need cushions, and you'll play around with this. So what I like about the ottoman is that there's no risk of it rolling behind me. And I can really drop my hips and then press up. Now, when I press up, I'm gonna feel my head tip back so that I'm a nice straight line. I'm not gonna, do you guys see that? You will see it in the film. I'm not gonna lift my hips and have my head like a candy cane. I'm just gonna open that back up and I'm gonna really press. Okay, so we go down and up. So when we're lowering and lifting. So let's do a couple more for filming purposes. So what I think the benefit is, and I want you to try it on your own, is what it feels like different to be on an object that doesn't roll here. The ball is a great option if that's what you have today, but I do think it pins you deeper into the glute to not be able to roll and have something really hold you. Like if you pushed your foot on something soft, would it be as hard as if you push your foot against a wall? You'd get better isometric contraction, in my opinion, okay? The ball is a great option, just on your own. Try if the bed, the ottoman, maybe some towels with a chair. Now stay up. Can you feel those glutes? Your legs should be wide though, and your hips should be up. So let's pulse up, 2, and now I'm just resting back on my ottoman. 4, 3, my hands are still behind my head, just lightly, 2 and 1. Then we're gonna go in, just gently in with the legs, and then out with the legs. In with the legs, out with the legs. In with the legs, out with the legs. In with the legs, stay up, out with the legs. We're feeling that burn. In with the legs and out with the legs. In and out. And then guys, we have one more variation. In, out, in, out. Ouch. Okay, down, a little in with the legs and out. Okay, a little in with the legs on the down, a little out. 7, in with the legs and out. 6, in with the legs. 5. Did I miss a 6? And if you didn't have an ottoman or a ball, you could do these bridges on the floor. You'd lose the height elevation, but that's okay. You'd still be working glutes. And we're gonna hold one more time and pulse out and up. 2, out and up. 3, ouch. 4, it's 4, ow. 3, 2, 1, rest. So lower down. Ooh, straighten out those legs. Just take it up and stretch it forward for your toes. And back up. Oh, nice. We're going to do some exercises up next. We're going to come all the way up. You don't need your ottoman anymore. Wow, I feel the leg. Let me check time. Oh my God, we're only at 41. All right, guys. So these probably, for some of you, could be your 5. We're only at 41, which is nuts. These could be your 5s. I have been doing it with my 3s because it is a combo. Hinge over. This is a, this is from last night, a repeat. Now, I'm going to have to turn because I won't be able to do my fly because of my fireplace. We would be doing a row and a kickback. Okay. And then fly open. And guys, I'm going to stand you up in between because I don't know about you, but my legs are still feeling that hinge from before the bridge we just did. So then we're going to go down into the deadlift so we don't grip too much in the legs. We're going to row and kick back. We're going to release the arms forward. Then we're going to fly open. This is why I do it the 3s, because my 3s are the right amount for my fly. And then I'm going to stand back up and squeeze my glutes. Okay. Because I personally need it. If you don't, you could stagger and stay down, or you could stay down the whole time. But I'm going to get a straightening effect. Okay. Tricep hold. That's important. Not just swinging them in and out and then fly open. Oh my Lord, I feel those glutes. And it wasn't from last night because I didn't do the set the same last night. I did not have the band last night. So we're hinging, rowing, kick back and hold. Hold those arms. If you can't hold it, you're never going to change the back of the arm that all the women say is the flabby part. If you don't hold these moves, the muscles don't use their threshold. Hinge, we're doing 8 of these, row and kick back. Unrow and fly open. Oh my God, my legs. And then coming back up. Squeeze those glutes at the top to nourish the glutes and the low back. Hinge, row, kick back, return, release, fly open. Oh my God, my legs are dying. But you guys work out a lot more than I do. Everyone says, you work out for a living? No, I watch people work out for a living. I'm going to go into the modification just for a couple, just to show you if you're at home. I need to stagger this next few to finish out my arms. That will unload some of the work into the glutes. And, okay, now my right leg is tired. I'm going to switch to my left for this next one. I'm just going to finish out my last 2 in stagger. This is key here, guys. I'm still holding my arms. Did you already return them? That's key. Return and fly. And then come back up. Okay, so then the next one we're going to do is a shoulder press. Okay, so bring those arms up, W shape, and down. We're going to leave the legs alone for a moment. That was a heavy leg set. Zipping up the abs. I'm going to tuck my pelvis under because a lot more of my sitting is causing me to have the bulky quads and the extended hips. So I'm going to tuck a little bit. You'll see where we're going. If when you do this motion that I'm adding on, if you feel clicking, you need to drop your weight, which is so quick. They should be close by. I'm doing this whole set with my 3s. Chin is in, shoulders are back and down. We're doing 8, 3, 2, 1. I'm focusing on tucking, so I work my abs and my glutes, not an Ed Grimley tuck, right? Gentle tuck. Last one. Then we're gonna hold here, and we're gonna rotate our forearms parallel to the ground. I'm just gonna hinge over so you can see. It's like that, and I'm also gonna turn side so you can see. Then I'm gonna rotate up. Rotate down. 5s is a lot for this. So if you do have lower, like I'm dying on my second, I'm sweating. I don't have the AC on, I have the door open today. And up, tuck, in, and out, in, up, tuck. If you feel anything going up into here, drop your weight. 2, and you're gonna get a little bit of relief in the next exercise. Ouch, and pull it into the side of the body, okay? This is the opening of a rotator cuff, but we're gonna keep a W shape, W into this arm, okay, not down here. Now, push into Y, pull down to W. So from my arm sculpting, slight bend in the knees, tuck that pelvis under, reach, and pull. Exhale, reach, and pull. Good. These are some of the things I do in my 11:30 classes on Wednesdays. It's a different group, it's a smaller group, and we do a little bit more functional balance, some cardio. And I thought, I work out with them a lot on Wednesday and Friday, the second half of their class, and it always feels so good. I'm like, why don't I use some of this into your classes? Push. I mean, are we feeling? I'm feeling. Tuck. Push. We want 7 and 8. And then we're going to go into some shuffles. You should be pulling. It's not just down, right? It's creating tension down. Now, when we shuffle, I've got my ottoman in the hallway, so I got to move it. We can either shuffle with the arms out, weights or not, or have your arms down by your sides if you just want the extra weight. I don't think I can lift my arms anymore with the weights. Four, 5, 6, 7. Oh, I can't get an 8. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. I actually can. If I go into my kitchen, I can get 8. But that's a different flooring, and that would make me feel weird. 2. 1 more. Ah, nice. Come on back. Plie. I'm going to keep the usual because class was just all so different. So I'm going to bring, if you can bring those arms up. But that is another, this is a tricep. Pull down, press up, and return. But maybe you want the nutcracker. We haven't gone forward. We did push-ups, but we could do the nutcracker. Remember, we deepen our plie when the arms press overhead. Man, my workouts are hard. I'm just using my 3s. These 3s are more like 4s. I said this before because the body bar length. So it's a little more challenging than a 3. Little less than a 5 in a different way. Killer. I messed that one up. I came up out of it. I'm gonna work on 2 more. I think there's 1 more, but just to make sure, in case I have to edit. One more. Whew. You can't even take a breather. I'm going to bring you back to your plie. And we're going to do your bird arms. They can be out of a plie. I'll show the modification. Here we go like this. Okay. You can walk your feet in if you want to, or you can hold a plie. So you can go down and up, working at the elbows. Lowering the arms behind me. You need to take a rest on the legs. Lowering the, and then reaching the arms up. Killer. Back. If you want to try that plie again, tuck. Come on, guys. I'm going to give you 2 more. If you need a break, put those weights down. You can hold your plie. Breathe. Wow. Try without the weights. It's like, woo, your arms go flying. 1 more, guys. Then I want you to put your weights down and stay in your plie. This is a stretch I do in my Wednesday and Thursday class. It's really good for thoracic. It used to be in your aerobics classes. I want you to put your hands on your thighs. That should take you out of the work of the legs. I want you to rotate. Feel that right there now. Old school would be rotate and the instructor's looking. So Marguerite's looking at me. Now that's old school. And that is because back then they didn't know. So just let your head follow the line. I want you to push into, so if you're rotating to the left, I want you to push into your right leg. That for me has been loosening up that low thoracic. We don't do this anymore because we just don't do aerobics really. Some classes do, but most classes don't. Okay, so we're making sure the shoulder is not like really protruding forward. The head is neutral to the rotation. Then we take it back to center. We're gonna walk the feet in, and then we're gonna do a cat and dog, hands on the thighs. Again, just a really nice stretch in that lower thoracic. And then flatten it out. And in. And flat. Okay, do as many of those as you need, but then roll all the way up. We're going to finish off with some reverse lunges. We can put the band on. I'm going to keep my light weights. This will be our last standing exercise, and then we're going to bring it to some ball variation rotation. Make sure you have enough room for one arm to go side and one arm to go forward. Roll the shoulders back. Whatever your leg is that lunges back, your arms are right down by your sides. That arm is going to go straight forward, and this arm is going to go lateral. Make sure you're not loading forward. You're staying neutral. Pull back up. If you do want to come to a balance, you can come to a balance knee tuck. I just struggled coming up to my balance, but we'll see how, if they get better. If they don't, stay in your stationary. So we're going to lunge down first, arms directly down from the shoulder to the wrist. Then raise the arms. Lower back down, balance and control. Notice my second one was excellent. Zip up the abs. Okay, we're going to do that again. We're going to do 8 on each side. Third one was a challenge again, zipping up the abs, tucking in on that low back. Arms go after the lunge. Arms finish before you come out of the lunge. And it's not a full hip flexion. It is a figure 4. You should be able to see between the legs. I'm on the second half of my 4. Whew. 2 more for me, but if you are ready to start your other side, you can do your 8. If you need to take a break, you just put that foot down. You can tap it. And 1. Whew. Your last one is always your best, guys. We don't give up on the last one. Oh my gosh. And as I'm saying that, we don't give up on the last one. The song is, I won't give up on us, even if something gets rough. So, as I said, your last one's your best one. We don't give up. Neither does this guy. Lunge. Got to turn around. You know why? Because I got to have room for that side arm raise. Here. It's like bend in the standing leg always. Figure 4, you can see through the legs. You're finishing up your last 4 or so. I have 5 more, but I'm betting that you guys are a little bit ahead. Marguerite, watch for leaning back in your lunge. You want your ribs right over your hips. You're a little bit here. Very subtly. I want to cry. Anyone else? I'm tapping for a second. And who I am. I just fell over. I won't give up. Hang on. Even if the skies get rough or the stars get rough, not sure. Man, guys, I still have 2 more. You're probably done at home. We're going to take it down to the ball for some stretching. If you are ahead, you can go ahead and do some sun salutations, down dog combos. Whew. I'm just not giving up. Not today, at least. Balance. Woo. Get rough. So child's pose, hip rocking, down dogging. This is an intermediate class. So